Hello and good morning, everyone. For some reason, my stuff did not update, so let's fix that. We are not playing World of Warcraft today. We are playing Helldivers today. There we go. We are playing Helldivers. Good morning and welcome to Friday. You all should be very excited. It is Friday. Looks like my view's a little messed up here. I don't know what's going on with my stream already this morning. Everything seems to be broken to start with. That's little frustrating. There we go. Let's shrink that down just a little bit more. There we go. It wouldn't be a stream if everything didn't start by being broken every single day, you know? So let's go and get that bread. Let's have a good morning. Hello, hello. I think we still have a major order ongoing right now to take Charbel. Yeah. So let's take Charbel. We just did this mission, Blitz, Eradicate. Nah, I don't want to do any of that. What else we got over here? What else can we do to take Charbel? Anything? Sabotage Airbase. That looks fun. There we go. It is Friday, and I am dreading. I gotta take my car in to get its oil changed, and for some reason, and maybe this is because I go to the dealership where I bought the car at, you know, maybe this is my own fault, but it seems like every single time I take my car to the dealer, they're like, wow, we're going to change that oil, but have you considered also doing X, Y, and Z? And it seems like there's just always something additional that needs to be done, you know? It gets a little old that every single time there's something broken. I feel like there should at least be once that I take the car in and they say, wow, your car is perfect. We don't need to do anything except for the oil change. Here you go, Mr. Waffles. I would greatly appreciate that, but something tells me that's not what I'm going to get. So I gotta go get that. We got our battery grip. We got a new battery for our camera to get ready for Italy. It was one of the things I was saving up for, was a new battery grip, and that came in the mail to the store yesterday, so I gotta go pick that up. Very excited to get the new battery grip that makes me look like a super professional photographer. Very, very hyped for that. So we got a full day today. Oh, it sees me. Oh, that's not a good start. Okay. That's really not good that it sees me there. So I was gonna say, let's call down our, we're in a good spot to call down our anti-tank turret to take that down. But let's hope that barrage hits. Come on, barrage. Well, I guess the turret forgot about us. I guess that's about as second good as we could hope for. The turret just kind of forgot we were here, so let's take advantage of that. There we go. Take that guy out. Brilliant. And that guy. Can hit that from the back. Nice. Alright, I think the Eye of Sauron sees us. Our barrage did almost nothing, unfortunately. That was a really sad barrage. So yeah, wow, this did not do well at all. Oh, there's another. We can hit that factory back there. Okay. Is there anything else I can see before I have to wander in there and take on? I guess not. That was poor positioning. All right, we're going in. We're going in head first. Let's hope for the best here. Oh wait, I forgot my backpack. There we go. Okay, here we go. Good morning, everyone. We are gonna assault this base first thing in the morning. I hope you are doing well. I'm not very hyped for the next war bond. You know, I don't really use mechs a whole lot, but I'm excited to see what we can do with more mechs. But rather than getting different mech call-ins, shouldn't we just get like a mech factory where we can customize the mech that we have rather than having to have different call-ins for every single mech? I feel like that would be more efficient. But also, since mechs are limited, like you can only carry so many mech or call in mech so many times, I guess having more options means we have the ability to call in more mechs. Like, having all the new mech options means if you really wanted to, I guess you could have 4 different mech call-ins and have 8 mechs in one go. Yeah, if you wanted to, I guess. I don't really think that's the best idea, but it's definitely doable. Oh, what is below? Oh, he's right behind me. Okay. Did he shoot the grenade out of my hand? I don't think I've ever seen that before. I had a grenade. I threw the grenade, I thought, but maybe he hit me right as I was throwing it, and I dropped it right on myself. I feel like he just kind of shot the grenade out of my hand and blew me up. Kind of a jerk move. In bird culture, he did it again. What? What is going on? Well, at least we took out the tower, so I guess we solved our goal there, but why was I getting exploded there? I've never exploded like that before. That was an unfortunate start to the game. We're having a little bit of a rough start here, I'll say. But that's okay. We got one part of the mission complete. I think our gear might be lost. We might have to accept the gear is lost for now, but well, maybe we can go back in there and get it. I see a bunch of new people joining us. Hello, welcome in. If you're a lurker, that is completely fine. If you're a first-time watcher, I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 5 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. Pacific time. Oh, we're on fire. Okay, this is a bad place to be. What is going on? Reuben, welcome in. I can read a little bit of Spanish, so maybe I can understand. Maybe I can understand that if I give it a go here. Let's see. Es grande para jugar esas cositas de niños. Something about the children. Big play. I understand like 3 of those words and none of the context that goes with them. I really wish I never gave up Spanish in high school. My teacher was telling me that I'm basically fluent and that I didn't need the class, and then I stopped using it, and then here we are where I'm guessing at words. I've never seen the bots up on a cliff like that before. The bots have secured the cliff, so to speak. I just want my gear back, dude. We don't have to fight. You can just let me pass. You would get to live. I would get to live. We would all be very happy with that. That seems like a win-win. I don't know why these guys are fighting me tooth and nail, but they are. Sea Star, welcome. How's it going this morning? What is going on today? Nice to meet you. Definitely a pleasure. It is a good Friday morning. I love getting to meet new people and chat with y'all. As you can see, I'm not a very big, accomplished, or good streamer, but it does make my day to start my day by being able to just meet new people, say hello. That's what I'm in for. Just getting to meet new people and have a good time with y'all. You're in Australia. That is, you're not alone. Actually, I have quite a few Australian viewers because I stream at a really weird time. I stream at 5 a.m. my time, like way early in the morning. So I usually end up getting a lot of people from Australia, some people from like Europe. Basically everyone but people in America, because no one's waking up at 5 a.m. to watch me stream, you know? So you're in good company here. We have people from all over. who come to watch waffles. So it's good to meet you. Someday I'm going to make it to Australia. I'm a photographer, or at least a wannabe photographer. So Australia has some amazing things I would like to take pictures of someday. So it is on the list of places I would like to visit someday. But it's also an expensive travel. You know, flights to Australia are not cheap, and I know that the cost of everything in Australia seems to be more. But I'm completely based off that. Every time I talk to like gamers in Australia get really upset because buying video games in Australia, apparently video games like even on Steam are very expensive in Australia. Yes, I am a photographer. I've sold a couple photos. I've won a couple competitions. I don't know what like moves me from like semi-professional or wannabe to actually like professional photographer. Like I don't know where people draw that line. So I usually hesitate to call myself a professional photographer because I don't feel like I'm that good. But like I have won photo contests. People have bought my photos, so I guess that makes me a professional photographer because I don't. The requirement to be a professional is something is get paid to do it, right? So I guess technically I've already met that goal, but you know, you always have that like wannabe, like, nah, I'm not actually that good. People only bought my photos because they felt bad for me. You know, you always have that imposter syndrome. You're never gonna fully feel like you belong. I've won a few competitions. I'm getting ready. I'm hopefully gonna win the state fair this year. That is my white whale. I've been trying to win the state fair competition for a long time, and I always lose the state fair. Granted, the state fair is judged by amateurs, you know, so like it's much harder to win the state fair than it is to win other photo contests, because usually photo contests are judged by professional photographers, but the state fair seems to be judged by very biased old people who don't necessarily look for skill. They're just looking for what they like, which that's fair. It's art. You know, every piece of art has its own merit. But like last year, AI won a bunch of categories, so like I call into question their capability to properly judge when they said that an AI photo won the competition. That was really frustrating. And I know I'm not alone in that, because I know there's a lot of people all across at least the United States who have been losing to AI. And that is, how do you reconcile with that, right? Like, it's so frustrating. But I still enter every year. I try and win. But I'm just gonna keep on keeping on.
Clear the area.
I definitely don't like AI, and I've definitely soured on it, but I understand why people use it. I understand why some artists defer to it, but I also don't understand like the people who hate it so much that it's become like a personality trait where like they invade other people's spaces and just go online to talk about how much they hate AI. Like, yeah, I don't like it either, and I definitely don't think we should be doing those sorts of things, but I don't make it my personality, you know. And it seems like there's some people who make hating AI their entire personality. And I just maybe I just don't have that hater in me, you know. Maybe I don't have enough haterade in me to spend my time going around online to argue with people and tell them how wrong they are, how much I dislike their choices, you know. Subscribed and liked, thank you. I appreciate that. Every little bit helps. My goal was to hit 10,000 this year, and I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I thought maybe I could hit 10K this year. I think maybe hitting 8,000 might be a more realistic goal for me at this point, because yeah, the road to 10K has been very long and arduous. All right, we despawned that thing that was shooting at us from the distance, so maybe we can pop it back in and destroy it. Maybe it despawned. I don't. Maybe it actually just went away. Great programming, Arrowhead. Great programming. What's this game called? This is Helldivers 2. It came out in 2024. It is a co-op Some people put it as extraction shooter. I don't think extraction shooter is the right way to put this game. It is kind of its own category. There are very few games like it. The only game that is like in the same category would be Deep Rock Galactic, where like you're going in, you're completing objectives, and then you're extracting out. But the whole goal isn't to extract, so I don't put it like in the same category as extraction shooters because it's not quite like you want to extract. It's like a mission-based shooter, I guess, would be a better term for it. But what I really like about the game is you are not the hero. You are not the savior of the universe. You are a cog in the machine. You have to go now? All right, well, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting for a bit. Have a good evening for you in Australia. Have a good evening, and we'll see you next time. Like I said, I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so maybe we'll catch you next time around. Let's see. Do I have anything that I can actually use to destroy these things with?
Objective critical stratagem available.
Hellbomb. Hellbomb it is. Oh. Woo! That was a little too close. Bye. Okay, that thing randomly decided to explode. And so did that one. Okay. Dipson, welcome back. I'm pretty sure you were here just a day or two ago, weren't you? Welcome back. Good to see you. We're in a bad position here. I don't want to call in the supplies because I'm the only one out here, but I need supplies, so... Chung, welcome in! Good morning!
Rare sample acquired.
Found something.
Having a hard time typing this morning? I know those days. What's going on this morning? What's new? And we got that cleared. They called in, yeah, they needed supplies, so they called them in. But I desperately need supplies. I have no grenades. I have no healing items. We're kind of in a bad position here. Oh, well, there's grenades, so I guess... Hey, look at that. Complaining worked. I complained about it, and boom. The game provided. Boy, oh boy, I sure would hate it if the game spawned me a stack of stims that I desperately need. Please. Did you all see? Kubli, welcome in. Good morning. Boom. Did you all see this morning, Game Pass got Vampire Survivors, their new roguelike game that is like the old school first-person dungeon crawling game? I'm so excited. I'm so excited to try that. What game is this? This is Helldivers 2. It is a team-based, mission-based sort of extraction shooter. Came out in 2024. One of the best games to come out in the last 5 or 10 years. An absolute must-play. Highly recommend. 7 p.m. your time? Alright, alright. 7 p.m., so you must be somewhere in Europe. Looks really cool. Yes. Maybe India? Well, yeah, I do get a lot of people from India. Are you in India? It is, like I said, it is one of the best games to have come out in a long time. I highly recommend it to everyone. The base game is $40, but I just launched a video yesterday about the cost of the game because if you buy all the DLC, the game does get pricey because the game's been out for 2 years, and every month or two they release what they call a war bond, which has new content for you, like cosmetics, new weapons, new stratagems, new stuff like that. So if you buy the game for $40, it is a great value. If you go in there expecting to buy everything the game has to offer, it will be a little bit too expensive. It's like $300 to own everything in the game, which is a bit much. Is on Steam? Yes, it is on Steam and PlayStation and Xbox. It is on all consoles except for Nintendo. I do not think that they have the capability to fit this game on the Switch. Maybe the Switch 2. Maybe the Switch 2 could handle this game, but it is coded in a dead engine. So there's only like 100 people in the world who even know how to program on the engine this game is coded in. Which means that it has a lot of technical problems. So it doesn't run perfectly. If you have an older PC, there is a chance that it will not run the best or smoothest in the world. So just be aware of that. Looks like they need a host, they said. That is also, there is host bugs and other things. So the game is not perfect. The game is definitely has its flaws, but for me, it's a one-of-a-kind game. The only game that came close to it is Deep Rock Galactic, and honestly, I wouldn't even compare the two games. They feel completely different. There is no other game that is like Helldivers 2. The cinema of the game, the setting of the game, the feeling of being a grunt cog in the machine. You're not the hero, you're not an action star, you are a fragile, untrained human who barely has the ability to fight in this war. It feels really good. So there are not a lot of games that give you the same feeling that this game does. So I highly recommend it to everyone. There's very few people that I would say would not enjoy this game, and one of those is one of the gimmicks of the game that makes it, just what it is friendly fire is always 100% enabled, and there is no way to turn that off. So your allies are constantly calling in big artillery, like you just saw that huge explosion go off. That will absolutely decimate you if you're standing near it. Your allies can and will destroy you without mercy. So if you don't like friendly fire, that will probably frustrate you to no end. It definitely is a learning curve for people to get over. And also, you blow up your allies, and that doesn't feel great either when you're accidentally blowing up the people trying to help you. You get a little bit of that Catholic guilt. We're really good at guilt, so when you fry your teammate, you feel a little bad about that. But it's a part of the game, right? That is fully a part of the game, is getting destroyed. Alright, so they said they couldn't locate the hard drive up here, so let's see if we can help them locate the hard drive. Looks like it's here. So it might actually have bugged out, which again we were just talking about how borked the game is, that it might have broken. Might have legitimately broken here. Oh, hello there, fire. I was standing still and those guys missed us. What a joyous occasion. Yeah, I think we broke the game. Good morning, Dex. Have you listened to all the music I sent you, Dex? How are you feeling about that mix of music that I sent you? Did you see I did not send you any Insane Clown Posse? Do you see how I tried to expand your horizons and I didn't send you things that I knew you would absolutely hate right off the bat? The first song I sent you, it was by Ubisoft. They made the Keep Your Rifle by Your Side for Far Cry 5. I know that song is making fun of cultists and Christians, but it slaps. They did a good job on that. I know that they're making fun of me, but also I don't care. It is a good song. If you consider anything ICP life-changing, I would disown you. I mean, there are some... Where's God, I feel like, is a very good ICP song that has a good... asking the good questions, doing the good things, right? So, you know, they have some good songs. So basically, our choices are to sit here for 16 minutes and fail the mission, or to leave. I guess we might need to leave because I don't really want to sit here for 16 minutes just to leave and fail the mission. You know, we'll get a little bit of experience, but it doesn't seem fun. So maybe we just need to leave this mission, unfortunately. Kaboom! Got one. Got two. Let's blast his eye out. How convenient for him to just stand there and take it. You know, give me your weak point and let me blow it up. Very, very nice of him. Good morning, Bubble. Welcome in. Do you have the morning off, or are you done? Are you done teaching for a little bit? What's new? What's happened? Fill you in. Not a lot is new, honestly. Took the day off. Excellent. Still saving up for Italy. Still trying to have a kid. Same old, honestly. I got dental surgery next week. I gotta get some teeth pulled. That's gonna suck. So we got that going on. Yeah, not a lot. It's just basically go to work, eat food, go to sleep lately, you know? I did get a lot of new followers and views from fighting with people about the Pope. So maybe we will become a channel based on the Pope, since that seems to be what the people really want to discuss is the Pope. So, you know, maybe we'll become a Pope-based channel.
Deep behind enemy lines. You will not have the support.
Let's go neutralize some of those. Let's go commando mission. So sad that buying me a Switch 2 is going to eat into that Italy trip. It has been a long, hard time saving for Italy, and as I talked about, any time you talk about actually saving money, you just know that something's gonna go wrong. Like, right, your house will hear you, like, oh wow, you saved money? Well, let's do something about that, right? So like I try not to talk about it too much, because every time that I say I've saved money, I know that I risk I risk something breaking. Please don't, you're already popey enough. I feel like I don't talk about the Pope that much, you know? I definitely feel like we could definitely be more Pope adjacent. That definitely feels like a real possibility. Alright, where's our... Don't want that. Where is the one that makes you a little more hidden? That's okay. In we go.
Hellpod launch initiated.
Already enough Pope. But the Pope is awesome. Pope Francis and Pope Leo have been, granted, you know, basically the only popes I've known since I've been Catholic, but they are of great joy to me. I really enjoy hearing them speak and talk and do all the things that the Pope does, all the Pope Leo things that the Pope Leo does. Oh, that bounced quite far there. It's amazing to me how many people hold an opinion on the Pope when they know absolutely nothing about him, right? Like, people feel like they're experts in the category of the Pope because I don't even know why. I don't even know why they feel like they're experts in the Pope. Like, they know nothing about the Pope. They don't know anything about Catholicism, but they feel like they are experts who need to talk about that topic. It's a really strange thing.
Objective critical strategy.
That seemed kind of unfair that the eye immediately turned to look at me, but didn't seem to call anyone in, so we might be okay. Hey, that guy's guarding it. Let's wander around this way and see if we can
Enemy tactical asset with
find a way to sneak in. I especially loved when J.D. Vance lectured the Pope on be careful about preaching about theology if you don't have a good, firm understanding of it. And then it comes out that apparently J.D. Vance didn't even go all the way through the Catholic process that he needs to. He skipped OCIA, which might be why he has such a bad theology. Might be why every time he speaks about the faith, people make fun of him, as it seems like he skipped the steps to becoming Catholic, and maybe that's why he doesn't have a proper and good Catholic education, is because he just kind of skipped it, which is not advisable, obviously, for good reason. So
request approved.
yeah, I definitely appreciate seeing him come out and say, maybe the Pope should be careful talking about this. And everyone's response was, maybe you should be careful talking about all the things you're talking about. I thought that was very nice to see. I think we're in trouble here. The other interesting thing to see is all the people, whenever you bring up Trump and Republican and any sort of politics, there seems to be this group of people who are stuck on but Joe Biden. Is this not a commando mission? Is that why we're... I feel like this isn't a commando mission we joined, and I feel like that's why this is not set up for us to be able to commando properly. I feel like we were lied to there. It's so interesting to see, like, hey, you know, you say, I don't like Trump's policy on XYZ, and then immediately people come like, but Joe Biden, like, but yeah, that was what, like, well, depends on it was quite a while ago now, 2 years now, almost. Like, yes, I get that you don't like Joe Biden, but we're that's not the conversation we're having right now, right? Like, it's okay to compare things, but I just feel like that's not helping the conversation to immediately just go, but Joe Biden, every time you're trying to have a conversation on things. Looks like the commando missions disappeared. Like, I joined a commando mission. I swear I joined a commando mission, and now it's just
The operation is fake.
gone. I don't know what happened there. Like, it was there, and then it wasn't. I don't know what happened with that. I swear we joined one. I got Mandela affected in real time. I don't feel like those people care about having a conversation, and that is probably the absolute truth and crux of the issue, is they don't want to actually have a conversation. They just want to scream and yell at you about politics, because for them politics is politics is my team winning. That's all that matters, is my team winning. So all I need to do is yell at you about XYZ so that my team can continue winning. Like cheering for the Bears. There's equally the same amount of people that can't have a convo without saying, oh, I definitely agree. I definitely agree that it's one of those both sides are definitely at fault. Both sides could do better. There's definitely a lot in that category.
Sending down support weapon.
Boom! I taught those guys a lesson. And that lesson was, don't mess with me, and he called someone in. Alright, that's frustrating. That was a little too slow, but okay. Time to blitz. People don't know how to disagree anymore. That is definitely true, but I do understand to a degree where people are talking about, like, it's okay to disagree on topics, but some topics we're talking about someone's like talking about the Epstein files, right? When people are like, well, maybe not everyone needs to be held accountable. Like, okay, we can disagree, but there's also, it's okay to say, I don't want to talk to you and I don't want anything to do with you because you're trying to protect people who actively harm and destroy children. So, like, yes, we can disagree, and yes, there's a way to be civilized, but I think it's also something to say for saying, I don't wish to talk to you, to be friends with you, or associate with you in any way, shape, or form if you're pro harming children, right? Like, that is one of those consequences of actions, right? Like, people are free to say, I do not wish to associate with you because of your horrible opinions and bad takes. And that is, I know that is completely ironic coming from me, the guy known for horrible opinions and bad takes, but that's just one of those things that we have to accept, that people can choose to not want to associate with us because of our terrible opinions or thoughts or anything of that nature as well, you know?
Enemy tactical asset within threat range.
You have to be prepared for that.
50 meters.
Reloading!
Allied destroyer joining squadron, deploying Helldiver to combat zone.
And the thing that frustrates me the most when it comes to that is, like, the hypocrisy. Like, I've talked about this before, but I always talk about it a lot. Like, I run D&D games a lot, obviously, because I love Dungeons and Dragons. But if I make a Dungeons and Dragons game that says for Christians only, people will accuse me of being a hate monger. They'll accuse me of being a bigot and all that. But if you make a game that says no Christians allowed, people will cheer you as a champion and say, wow, how brave and awesome. I don't want to be in a space with Christians, so it's great that you're creating this for me. And it's so strange, like, the hypocrisy of, okay, no Christians allowed, that's stunning, that's brave, that's beautiful, only Christians, this is hate mongering, it must be deleted, I hate you in every fiber of your being. Oh yeah, echo chambers are one of the biggest problems, I think, that a lot of Americans and people in general, but Americans especially, are facing in general. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday. They brought up, during the satanic panic, you had all the people who are Dungeons and Dragons is evil, Pokemon is evil, and so someone has started a conversation about, like, why did people think Pokemon was evil? And it was absolutely dumb reasons. And I was explaining that there are some people that exist that truly don't wish to think for themselves. Like, something new comes out and they wait. They're like, well, I want to wait until this religious leader or this political leader tells me what to think. And it doesn't matter how true, wrong, right, doesn't matter. All they want is someone else to tell them what to think or to validate their own opinion. So someone sent me this clip of this guy who was talking about how Pokemon was evil. And I watched this guy, and after watching him for maybe 10 seconds, I was like, I bet after watching this guy talk for 10 seconds, I bet this guy sells DVDs or some sort of, like, get into heaven sort of material. He just seems like the slimy kind of guy who is going to sell that to you. So I went and looked him up, and sure enough, the dude sells DVDs for $10 a pop on everything. Every board game, everything like Pokemon, everything out there is evil and sending your children to hell. But don't worry, you can protect your children by buying his DVDs. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. The dude's not actually out here with any sincerity. He's just trying to sell you DVDs, and the way he does that is by fear mongering. Everything is going to send your children to hell, and the only way you as a good parent can protect them is by buying my DVDs. So this is glitch too. I think the game is just broken today. The game is just extra broken for whatever reason. That's kind of frustrating. Like, he said that Mewtwo was doing the satanic salute because Mewtwo has 3 fingers, and any creature or thing in a game that has 3 fingers obviously has 3 fingers because 3 fingers forms the devil horns. And like, one, that's not a satanic salute. That's not a thing. That's a thing that edgy teenagers do, but that has nothing to do with anything. But also, like, Mewtwo's holding out his 3 fingers like this. How do you get this from this? Like, it's clearly the stretchiest of stretches. So yeah, that guy was absolutely full of it. And go figure, the guy who's absolutely full of it, fear-mongering, has a website full of things for you to buy. Like, I couldn't imagine why people would say inflammatory things about really popular things just to show up on the news, just to peddle their new DVD on why popular thing is bad. Like, I couldn't imagine how those things are correlated in any way, shape, or form, you know? The thing I despise the most when ex-Satanists come on and talk about, well, I was a 15th level Satanist, and I can tell you that these rituals and dark magics are done, is that anyone who is actually a Satanist, like me, will tell you that it's all made up, it's all garbage, and it's a bunch of edgy teenagers making up a bunch of stuff. So there's no formal systems. There's no formal, like, this is how this is done, or this is the black magic. It's all edgy teenagers making it all up. So anytime someone comes out and says, well, I was a Satanist and this is the truth about Satanism, you have to take it with the grain of salt of, yes, but remember that's just edgy teenagers making stuff up. So whatever they're saying might be what they did. It might be what their little covenant of 15-year-olds did, but that doesn't mean that that's what all Satanists do, right? Like, that there's so much to it. It's the same way when people come out and say, like, oh, well, I'm a witch, so witches do XYZ. Like, okay, yes, your little online group might do that, but you're not speaking for all pagans and witches, because again, you're all just making it up. So a different group might make up something completely different in a different part of the country who has no contact with you, right? Taking ideas for boy names. All right, boy names. Do you want actual names, or are you going for like unique tragedies, like? Are you looking for serious suggestions, or are you taking for all suggestions? Because my first, well, there we go. Actual names. Okay, first suggestion, and maybe I have bias here. You know, my saint, my confirmation saint, my saint who I call to a lot for help is Saint Raphael the Archangel. So how do you feel about Raphael? I've always loved the name Raphael. It sounds exotic and strong and mysterious. Gunner Trigger Wesson. Not Indiana. I know this is always unpopular when I bring out Indiana Jones is the worst action hero of all time. Watching Indiana Jones was such a waste of time. It is such a terrible movie. No one should be out here wanting to watch Indiana Jones. It's watching an old man get beat up time and time again for 2 hours. It's not a fun movie. Yes, Raphael. I am a fan of Raphael. Fires! Welcome in. Oliver. Yeah, see, the problem with Oliver, I do like Oliver. Oliver is a good name, but Invincible is really popular right now, so if you name your kid Oliver, all people are going to think of is a 15-year-old boy who says that he wants to sleep with a blue lobster. So you gotta be careful with names that are relevant to pop culture at the time, right? So no kid wants to be made fun of for being attracted to lobsters in middle school. So you gotta be careful with Oliver. Doyle? I've always thought Doyle was a nice, strong name. Doyle. But I'm also fairly certain that Doyle was wasn't Doyle a character like in Harry Potter? So like that's also a thing.
This is Pelican 1. I have visual on the extraction zone. Pelican 1 landing sequence initiated. Watch where you're
Yeah, Doyle. We're talking about a literal Gen Alpha unborn baby. You could be the first parent. You could be the first parent to name your child Skibbity. You could have been the person. And just call him Bop for short.
shuttle launch in 20 seconds.
I asked the wrong person. What's wrong with Doyle? Doyle is such a cool, strong name. Like, it's a little bit of an old person name. Like, I've never met a 2-year-old named Doyle, but it projects confidence and power. Doyle. Like, it's strong. I like it. You knew the mistake you were making. You know, you can't go wrong with a biblical name, you know, Ezekiel, Gabriel, Joseph, all biblical good names. I just woke up, haven't been here long, so I forgot. Someone tell me what's wrong with Doyle. It's such a good name. It's such a good name. It's unique. It's an actual name. It's strong. I don't know about Peter. You know, forgive me, Saint Peter. But Peter has always been ruined by Family Guy. You know, people aren't gonna think Saint Peter. People are gonna think don't to be shy to Peter from Family Guy, or Peter Pumpkin Eater. Like, I don't know. Peter has been ruined by Family Guy, and I'm pretty sure Family Guy will still be relevant in 16 years. Peter's my uncle's name, automatically out. Isn't Doyle a character from Brooklyn Nine-Nine? I don't think so. The main cast, you've got Jake, you've got Terry, you've got Amy, you've got I don't think Doyle's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a good show though. If you haven't seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna go out a little bit of a limb here. This might be a little out there, but have you considered Zuko? Huh? Prince Zuko? That could be a name. That could be a good one. I think Zuko could fit in the year 2035. End stream. Paul. Now I don't know. It doesn't sound like it's uncommon, but I don't know anyone named Paul. Paul is not a bad name. Paul is a good name. I know it's always a bad bad idea to name your child after a piece of work, right? Like Game of Thrones, how many kids were named Daenerys after Game of Thrones came out? Like I know that's always a bad idea. But I feel like Avatar The Last Airbender is pretty untouchable, and Zuko's a good character, and it's a cool name. Zuko's a cool name. And then when they were a kid, called him little Zuzu, like one of my friends is named Temperance. Now the one word names like that, like naming them Faith, Hope, Temperance, like that is just begging for something to go. I think that's a bad idea. I definitely think that those names feel like that it's setting a child up for failure. Then again, I want to name our daughter Christmas, so maybe I, as Dex said, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. So maybe I shouldn't be involved in the conversation. Another exotic one maybe. Deku. I don't know anyone named Deku, and Deku is the name of a hero, so that is always a option. I think it's Japanese, so that might. Great job dropping that right on top of us.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Maybe I'm a little biased. We do. Did you ever consider there's a reason for that? Dex is just mad because he's never finished My Hero Academia. If he actually took the time to finish watching My Hero Academia, I feel like he would understand where I'm coming from. Although I also do stand by, I've been watching a lot of Kaiju number 8, and I do sincerely think that Kaiju number 8 is going to surpass My Hero Academia for like my top list of anime. Also, speaking of My Hero Academia, today, tickets for My Hero Academia the concert are going on sale. They are going to be playing all the music from My Hero Academia in a city near me, and I'm gonna go to that. I got to go to that, right? My Hero Academia the concert sounds like an absolute blast. I cannot wait to go see how much tickets are for that. I strangely like the name Christmas. Okay, Christmas on its own isn't bad, but the reason why everyone tells me I can't name my daughter Christmas is because of my last name, which I'm not going to dox myself on stream, but it goes together with the last name, and that's why people tell me no, you can't name your daughter Christmas, is because of my my last name, which I do understand where they are coming from. I do understand it. I just think it's clever. Where is my team at? Oh, we don't have a team. That is why this is going on. There we go. I was wondering why this was getting so difficult, because I forgot to call in the rest of the team.
Calling down supplies. Dropship.
I cannot say. I cannot say, especially because the Helldivers community has been a little bad about doxing people recently, and if you say the wrong thing about Helldivers, they're coming after you. So I'm especially afraid of being doxed recently with the turn of events from the Helldivers 2 community. So I have to be very, very careful. I also know that with all of my posting about the Pope, that my workplace would not like that, and that'd be a whole other mess. So it's sad, but that's the world we live in, unfortunately. Why can I not aim this morning? But yes, I'm very, very excited to go to the My Hero Academia concert. You Say Run is an absolutely beautiful piece of music, but also like some of the intros, like the "Hey, hey, it's all right." That's great, great intro music. That one's an absolute banger as well. So I'm so excited to maybe get to go to that. Your bad opinions prevent you from aiming. I am weighted down with bad opinions. You might be accurate on that. It perhaps is the weight of carrying all these terrible opinions. It's been a while since you finished My Hero Academia. It's always worth a rewatch. There's a couple episodes that I might not rewatch, all the way through. A couple parts of the seasons I might skip here and there on a rewatch, but come on, dude, stop moving every time I go to shoot. Like, I feel like you're doing that on purpose. There we go. For the most part, My Hero Academia is a very solid, Chaotically Fun Guy, welcome in. Solid watch. Being into Freerin and Lords of Mystery. Freerin, I think 100% Freerin deserves the title of best anime ever made. I truly, truly feel like Freerin is the king of anime. That it is the best. I truly, truly think that. Now I hesitate to say that because the show's still being made and they can always fumble it in the next season, but it is seasons 1 and 2 are some of the best TV and best anime you'll ever watch in your entire life. It's so good. Lord of Mystery is a Chinese anime. I forgot the actual name for those. I don't think I know that. I don't think I've heard of that one.
Requesting fortification. Throwing supply beacon.
Allied destroyer joining squadron. Deploying Helldivers.
But what I've been enjoying about Kaiju number 8 so far is there hasn't, as far as I remember from watching season 1, I'm on season 2 right now, there hasn't been a single panty shot. There hasn't been any weird angles. There is a girl with a little bit of an annoying kind of ooh voice, but it's not terrible. But I love that so far the anime has been clean, it's been fun. Oh, I'm going to the moon. I will see you guys next time. I don't think I was supposed to live through that. I don't know how we lived through that. Okay. Yeah, it's not suggestive at all. It's just good action. And I also appreciate that it's got a pretty big cast of characters, and it seems like they are trying to give each one of those characters space and time to grow and develop. I know that a lot of people, one of their problems with My Hero Academia was that that not all the characters were fully fleshed out. I definitely had Tailman. Tailman has basically no purpose. He shows up in 3 episodes, right? So I definitely understand where they're coming from, but when you have a cast as big as My Hero Academia with 24 characters, it's hard to develop them all. But there's a lot of animes that are guilty of this is the main character, and these other people exist simply to supplement them or to be love interests. Which is another thing that I love. There is one girl who loves Kafka's the main character of Kaiju. There's one character who falls for the main character, but I cannot stand animes where it's like Sword Art Online. Ojiro. Sword Art Online is the most egregious of this, where every female character that comes in contact with the main character inexplicably falls in love with them, especially Kirito, right? Kirito is the worst example of this because you expect me that this is bland sword guy who has nothing but angst, and all of a sudden every woman who meets him instantly falls in love with him. I hate that trope so much. I hate, this is Kirito and the 16 women who are in love with him. It's such a horrible trope. Hate it. Cannot stand it. The only thing worse than that is Sword Art Online is also egregiously violating the stuff with UA. I cannot hate UA enough in Sword Art Online. Who in the right mind thought it was a good idea to write this anime in such a way that, oh, you know what, these two characters who are sort of in love need, how about an annoying child after 3 episodes, and it's gonna go, ooh, ooh, daddy, I want a sandwich, daddy. Who in their right mind thought that was a good idea for Sword Art Online? Like, I get they were trying to go for, look, they're trying to have a family and a normal life, but they could have done so much to show, like, the comfort of a normal life and wanting to build something together. But no, they went with, why not give them a child that talks in a really annoying voice and calls everyone mommy and daddy? Like, such a fumble. I would call it the worst fumble of all time in anime, honestly, but One Piece exists. And as long as One Piece exists, there will always be an anime that I hate more or could talk about how much I dislike more than Sword Art Online. But if One Piece disappeared, I'm coming for you, Sword Art Online. What was that? I just randomly blew up by touching a rock. What was that? Great programming, Arrowhead. I thought Sword Art was a video game. Sword Art Online is everything. It's a video game. It's a novel. It's a manga. It's a light novel. And it's everywhere. It is everywhere. There is no escaping Sword Art Online. You remember It's Totally Spies? I just watched a videos guy and went through some of the moments, and like these are all very adult things. Okay, so it's a meme. There is a meme that goes around that you can find that this guy went through and watched all of Totally Spies and catalogs every fetish that he finds in the show. And while I definitely think that some of it is, there's definitely some level of truth to what he is saying, I do feel like a portion of it is for the meme. So I'm not sure it's as bad as people say, because like on the list of fetishes, he has things like character grows an afro spontaneously as a fetish, and maybe I'm not educated in that community, but that doesn't seem like it needs to be listed as a fetish. But like the cat girl thing, probably. The suddenly getting inflated in spandex, probably a thing. I mean, it was during like the Dan Schneider era of Nickelodeon, right? Where like iCarly, it's like, oh, we have a bunch of underage girls. What do we need to do? They need to show their dirty feet to the camera. That's what they need. This episode is crucial for the plot, for these girls to put their feet in mayonnaise and rub it on the camera. That is important plot point here. I 100% think that there is some adult things in there, but I think the meme list is probably a little bit inaccurate. You know, one of the lists is the turning into the cats, and I know cat girls are a thing, but also like every cartoon of that era had characters that turned into some sort of anthropomorphic animal. So I don't know. But Nickelodeon, I could talk about Nickelodeon all day. The evils of Nickelodeon are not lost on me. There's definitely a lot of gross things. I'm fairly certain iCarly, in fact, got an episode pulled off the air for things with children, because there was an episode where they made one of the girls change her shirts behind like a really, really low, thin thing. And they accidentally exposed a minor on television, and that made it to air. Like, they fully aired that episode. So, yeah. Why did you put a child in a position where they have to take their shirt off and could possibly be videotaped taking off their shirt and having absolutely nothing on underneath? I don't know why anyone thought that was a good idea at all. But Dan Schneider. So yeah, I'm fairly certain that was iCarly that has a pulled episode for that. It's also really weird how many episodes did like the Rugrats had babies in diapers. That's completely normal. They're babies, they're in diapers. Okay, that makes sense for the central theme of the show. But like every cartoon for a while there, for some reason, had to have one of the characters who's an adult gets turned into a baby, and then they have to poop the diaper on TV. And like Fairly Odd Parents was the most egregious of that. But that was a whole trope for so long in so much of early like 90s 2000s cartoons. I don't understand why every cartoon had to be, let's have adults be babies and soil themselves on TV. This is good TV. You know, another one of those things you question why people say, well, we have to do it to make the TV show, but why does the TV show need that episode? Why is that crucial to the plot, and why are you writing things that are crucial to the plot in that way? You know, it seems like maybe we don't need that. We're in trouble here. And I already know, like, talking about this, I'm gonna be one of those fuddy-duddy parents. I already know, unfortunately, I'm gonna be one of those people like, well, before you can watch something, child, I have to watch it first and screen it first, because there's so much garbage on TV and so much low-quality humor that I don't want you to be exposed to. And I know that people hate those parents who are like, no, you can only watch Veggie Tales. I understand that it is disliked, but, like, you gotta protect your kids. And there's a lot of bad TV shows out there, right? Like, there's gotta be a middle point. Like, one of the tropes I hate the most, and I know, again, it's gonna make me a grumpy old man, and it's gonna make me a hater. I hate, in especially modern cartoons, everything is about butts. Everything has to be butts. You know, Gary takes his shell off in SpongeBob, and he's got a giant, thick butt. Patrick takes his pants off, he's got a giant, thick butt that can grab things. Why does absolutely every character need a giant, humongous butt? I don't like it. I don't get it. I don't think it's necessary. I absolutely hate that. Teen Titans Go. Multiple episodes about butts. Everything is butts. The Real Dio, welcome in. Real Dio joining us as we are discussing butts. Real Dio, feel free to hop in. How do you feel about excessive amounts of butts in TV? Potty humor, so here's the thing, potty humor is funny to kids. I definitely agree with that, but like only if you expose your children to it. Like, I feel like if you don't let your kids know that exists, then it won't be funny to them, right? Like, I feel like if your kid doesn't know that exists, then there's no problem, right? Like, it's only a problem if we make it a problem.
Activating jump pad.
I don't even know that it's sexualization. It might be. I don't know. I don't know anyone who's like, oh yeah, Gary the snail with his 10-foot dumpster. Yes, please. I'm sure there's someone out there. I'm sure that exists in some capacity. I don't get me wrong. The depths of human depravity, I try to never underestimate. Talking about butts in kids shows, not butts on TV. Just because it's in a cartoon does not mean anything, Dex. I mean, there is so much, like, the adult Pokemon stuff, right? Just because it's a cartoon does not mean for a second that people aren't going to make the grossest art you've ever seen of a Lopunny. Just saying. Being a cartoon does not make it immune from the gross. My Little Pony is probably the best example of that. Of people taking a innocent, cute cartoon. And though the one I know it exists. I don't want to look it up. I don't want to have my heart broken, but I know in my heart of hearts there has to be someone out there making Rule 34 bluey art, and that breaks my heart. We're not getting Rule 34 Gardevoir. Are we though? Because Mega Lopunny is wearing fishnet stockings and is very obviously drawn like a Playboy girl. So, like, you say we're not, but they kind of are. They kind of are. They're kind of guilty in at least a little bit of the sense.
Requesting sentry.
Calling down for
I never understood butt, fart, poop humor, so maybe I'm just not the... that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why it needs to be in everything, you know? Blow that up, blow that up, blow that up.
Objective complete.
Yes. And that... I realize that yes has become one of my stems from... I think it's Goober Smooch who made this comic, and it's so good. This guy goes to a coffee shop and he's like, yes, with the sip of this mocha latte I can feel my power increasing. Yes. May I have a bagel? Yes, with this bagel I can feel my power increasing even more. Yes. And now I feel like yes has become like a vocal stem for me. I love that cartoon so much. That sounds like equating Pokemon to Playboy, which is egregious. Is it? I'm saying, like, did Lopunny's Mega Ultra design whatever have to be torn fishnet stockings? Like I feel like that's an intentional design choice. I feel like it didn't need to be that, and that was a intentional choice that they made for a very certain part of the audience, you know?
for freedom.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing with that. It didn't have to be that way. They chose to make it that way. Well, it's the same thing like Legend of Zelda, right? Legend of Zelda, they have the great fairies that are very, very, very well endowed. That's one problem. But also in one of the Legend of Zelda games, you have like those really awkward scenes where they really heavily imply that the great fairies are assaulting Link in a very inappropriate way. And like, again, they knew what they were doing. They didn't have to do that. They chose to make it that way. So like, these designers aren't innocent in it. It definitely seems like it is an intentional choice in many, many different ways. I am aware of the people who love Lopunny in that way. Lopunny and Gardevoir and Vaporeon. It's a whole mess. A whole mess.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Boom! Alright, we're missing one factory. Oh, hello there. That was a bad place to spawn in, I guess. Where is this factory at? We're getting kind of chewed up over here.
Deploying replacement squad.
I guess I should be paying attention to the game. I'm not really trying here, and that's really impacting my performance. I guess I should try and pay a little bit more attention, since we're kind of getting wrecked out here.
Throwing grenade.
Come on. There we go. Okay. Turrets are down. Where? Oh, there's still one more turret. Those things keep spawning. Holy cow. It's an intentional design philosophy choice. Pokemon has a design philosophy explained several times over. Still sounds weird to me to micromanage a children's media consumption over how adults think. But see, it's Thank you, Blank. Have a great day. It's important because like there's a Reddit thread that comes around every so often where people ask like children who watched children's cartoon, which character was your awakening? Which character was like your sexual awakening? Which character made you aware that you are a being and you want and have these needs? And the amount of people who are like, well, I was 6 years old and I watched Robin Hood, and Robin Hood made me feel tingly or feelings that I didn't understand, or like Nala. The amount of people in that thread though is it's Nala, Maid Marian, Robin Hood, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Are all characters that people were like, I didn't understand these feelings I was having towards this character until I was old enough to understand what it was that I was feeling. So like it starts young, right? It starts young, and that is why you do need to have some conversations about policing these things, because children are experiencing this media and they're not sure what they're feeling or why. And that's why you have to be aware of those things. And apparently Disney's Robin Hood was just Disney apparently was all for a lot of people between Maid Marian, Robin Hood. A lot of people had confusing feelings as a children watching Disney movies, apparently. So it's a real thing and a real conversation that people need to be aware of when making decisions for their family. And again, as parents, it is our job to police what our children are watching, what our children are engaging with, and all those sorts of things. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I do understand why people despise like the my children can only watch VeggieTales. That is the only TV show they're allowed to watch, because that is the only they can watch VeggieTales and they can watch Bible Man. I understand why people don't like those parents. I don't want my kids to have a phone, but at this point, I kind of want to get rid of mine too. There is a cell phone that Emmy and I have both looked at that you can get. It's basically a nothing phone that it can access Google Maps, it can access phone calls and emails, and that's it. It's a boring monochrome screen. It can't run any other apps. It just runs the basic bare necessities. And we've talked about getting that for ourselves, honestly, because yes, phones. There is so much evidence that phones are absolutely addicting, and honestly, children don't need phones. I 100% agree. Children don't need iPads. Children don't need phones. That is not a necessity at all. I grew up with Octonauts and VeggieTales. My friends grew up with anime. For some reason, our parents only let her watch anime growing up. That is such a weeb thing to do. Like, I can see, like, a 14-year-old who knows nothing about life being, yeah, when I have kids, they're only going to watch the good stuff like Naruto and DBZ. That's such a weeby thing. But to actually do it. And don't get me wrong, there's some good anime out there, and there's certainly anime made for kids. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Like, I can't think of a single anime off the top of my head that I would let, like, a 6-year-old watch. But you know, when they're teens, Full Metal Alchemist, My Hero Academia, not terrible. There is some stuff I wish I could remove from my... If I had the power, I would re-edit My Hero Academia, and I would just completely remove Grape Rush from My Hero Academia. That character has no need to exist, no reason to exist. We have no need for Grape Rush in My Hero Academia. But also the same thing, Mirio in his obsession with check out this peach, and he wins the final battle by shoving his butt in the face of the enemy. Like, it was so unnecessary, so unneeded, so awful. Avatar: The Last Airbender, isn't that anime or is it just a cartoon? Avatar: The Last Airbender I consider it anime. I know a lot of people disagree with me on that, but I consider Avatar to be anime. But you know, my OCIA director, who I trust dearly with spiritual direction, his wife won't let his kids watch anime and won't let them watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. And their specific reason for not letting their kid watch Avatar: The Last Airbender is all the stuff with like Eastern religion. And I understand to a degree where they're coming from. Like, yes, Avatar deals a lot with like chakra and chi and balancing nature and spirit world and all that. So while I don't remember anything inherently like sexual or bad about Avatar: The Last Airbender, I do understand the idea of not letting your kid watch Avatar until they can fully understand and grasp that the concepts that they are teaching is it's made up fantasy. This idea that you've got these chakra points in your body that are blocking the flow of energy is fantasy, and the bending is all fantasy, and that the show is a fantasy thing built in a fantasy world. And while there are some good teachings and ideals you can certainly learn from Avatar, the idea of, you know, the friendship and the strong bonds, I can understand why, like, trying to explain to a kid like this idea of the spirit world doesn't exist in the way they're portraying it. This idea of energy flowing through your body doesn't exist, and you don't want them to get into that without a firm understanding of what is actually real and what's not. So I understand why someone would be hesitant to let their kid watch Avatar, but by the time they're like 13 or 14, they can understand this is a fantasy thing. I definitely don't see a problem with it. I was addicted to Iron Man, Iron Adventures, VeggieTales, Octonauts, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Teen Titans Go. Anish, welcome in. Teen Titans Go is firmly on the no list. I do not believe there is any value in a child watching Teen Titans Go. So that one will be firmly on the no-go list. I don't know anything about Octonauts. I've never watched VeggieTales. I've never seen Iron Man or Adventures. I've never seen any, like, the Marvel cartoons, so maybe. But I was actually just watching there's an old Marvel's afraid to do this now. But Nightcrawler was so Catholic in the old X-Men. There was a whole episode where Nightcrawler became a monk at like a Catholic monastery, and he's trying to convert Wolverine and show him God's love for him. Like there are so Marvel is too afraid to make a good Catholic character anymore. Even Daredevil, like the new Daredevil season, I doubt that they focus too much on Daredevil being a actual Catholic. I think they're afraid to portray it in a good light. That was the one with Wolverine. Where Wolverine's like, God abandoned us long ago, and Nightcrawler comes over and goes, Logan, God has not abandoned us, but our suffering gives us the capacity to understand the greatness of God's love and forgiveness for us. It was a brilliantly written piece and strongly Catholic, but they're just too afraid, like I said, they're too afraid to actually make good Catholic characters in their shows anymore. We're never going to get that again.
Reloading!
Wolverine repenting scene goes hard. Yes, it does. Nightcrawler was always my favorite X-Men, and I didn't realize, you know, it's 20 years later, I realized it's because, you know, he was a devout Catholic, and it was God calling me home through X-Men. That's why I love that Catholic character. I loved the Wild Kratts as a kid, easily top 10. I don't think I know the Wild... I thought at first you meant Wild Cats, like SWAT Cats. That was an old 90s cartoon I absolutely loved. I don't think I know the Wild Kratts. The opposite side of the problem, though, is Catholic TV. Like, there's a bunch of Catholic cartoons like the Tuttle Twins and the Dead Sea Squirrels out there, but as with a lot of Christian media, there's the problem that Christians don't seem to know how to make a good cartoon because they focus it so much on, well, this is going to be Jesus first, which I understand why, but it's not entertaining or good. You know, it's cringe to the max. So, like, Catholics really need to learn how to make a good cartoon. I did watch He-Man and Animaniacs. I remember liking He-Man. I don't remember it being good, but I remember liking He-Man. I have the power! My favorite from He-Man was the little blobs. The little blobs and the rhino that shot pellets. One that I wish I could remember is Biker Mice from Mars. My mom said I loved Biker Mice from Mars, and I don't remember that show at all. I want to go back and watch an episode of that and see, was it as bad as I imagine it was. Loved Animaniacs. That kept me entertained for hours. Animaniacs was pretty good, but I do remember there being a lot of adult humor in Animaniacs. Like, a lot of adult humor. Like the fingerprints joke is the one that gets passed around a lot. So, I think Animaniacs would have to be a no. And anything too stimulating. Cocomelon, absolutely not. Half the YouTube brain rot, absolutely not. The overstimulation is a real problem. So, they're gonna get like was it Brother Bear? Was that like the really chill show from when we were kids with the bear? You had Mama Bear and then Papa Bear, and it was just a very slow, quiet episode where you go up and like, Papa Bear, could we build a fort today? Little Bear. That one seems very understimulating. Sewa. Very, very gentle, quiet show. The Berenstain Bears is a good kids show. I remember reading the Berenstain Bear books. I don't remember watching the TV show.
Your fellow Helldivers rage against the enemy's tyranny.
Allied destroyer has left squadron.
I don't remember watching the TV show at all. See, it doesn't look like I have enough time for another game, unfortunately. Because it is about time to get started with my day. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff to do today, unfortunately. So let's end with our prayer like always.